But welcome to the Intervision FM universe. I'm Alan C. Got Johnnie J in the house, and we got a riveting show. We're going to talk about Greeley, Colorado's in the news today. Dozen eggs is a little bit more than a pound, a little bit more than a pound of ground round, folks. We got UFOs in the show. We got Ohio. We got flaming. We got so much fun today here on the Intervision FM podcast. Today is our Friday, but it's your Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, I did that all with one breath.
Hi, everybody. This is the Godfather, Soul James Brown. I tell you, this place is on. My man is on. Check him out. This is the Godfather, Soul James Brown saying, stay with it and hit it. Okay, thank you very much.
All right, welcome everybody to the show. It's a snowy day here today, but that's why I'm dressed more warmer than usual. So, but hey,
I got my PJs.
warm sweater on. What about you?
I got my PJs on. I was going to go shovel days. I was going to see how cool it was out there, how much snow we got. I was going to shovel in my PJs and I was going to sing at the neighbors. And then I remembered, no, this is 2023. We still have laws and standards and things like that. There's no running around in your PJs.
Or you could do like Mike Lindell. He's made these very comfortable shoes.
Yeah,
they're home shoes, but people wear them, to the store and stuff like that because they're so durable.
He would love to sponsor us. I think I need to somehow get.
I bet he would.
He would love to. I know he would. Then that way, watched even more by the alphabet agencies, which do exist. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank YouTube, and we want to thank Facebook and Getter and True Social and Rumble and about 5 other platforms I can't really think of right about now, but we got a bunch of them. Getter and MeWe, and there's a couple of
about 11. LinkedIn, and maybe this weekend, I don't know. One is I'm going to add some more, but you got to sign up on the website. Then you go and then you add them to your list. And now here, some people just don't know that I'm doing a show. Continue telling us about the sponsor while I tell this person that we're doing the show.
Well, what we got going is intervisionfm.com is where you can find our material, our information, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That includes everything from story time from noon to 1 Mountain Time. We got sponsors. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. It was just somebody wanted to give me money. No. They wanted to loan me money with the interest cost.
With a big interest, yeah.
And I keep telling them, I don't want your money. I want a grant.
Well, we do have a couple of sponsors I wanted to mention. Christian Brothers Moving Company out of Phoenix, Arizona, in the great state of Texas, somewhere in that big old state out over there. And we got Englewood, Colorado. And if you need to get your moving needs taken care of, they'd love to help you. You can help out Brian by giving them a call. They're a family-owned operation, so they're experiencing the
slow down in moving.
Yeah, people are not moving as much. People that are moving are getting evicted. We're going to talk a little bit about that. That's going on in my home city of Greeley, Colorado, ladies and gentlemen. I myself, as a matter of fact, am couch surfing, sort of. So we'll talk a bit about that. What else we got? We got UFOs. We got Ohio. Oh boy.
And that's terrible. You know what? I was just thinking, like, in downtown Denver, they're building up all these apartment houses. They're tearing down. What do they call it when a building's been around for a long time? Antique buildings we had this Burger King that was the oldest Burger King landmark. It was a landmark. They cleared out the whole shopping center. I mean, we had to use that this place that was a taco Mexican food place. It was a Starbucks. I mean, it was just Subway. It was just. It's been there since I was in college, and that was a long time ago. And it's like they just cleared the whole parking lot.
Wow.
And then they had this famous restaurant that people used to go to after the party, the Denver Diner. Boom, they cleared that away.
Cleared that out. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So it's like so all these buildings they're just clearing away. Oh, and they're bringing these apartment buildings. Now some of them are good. You got this one that they got this swimming pool. It's like a glass swimming pool, so you can see the people in there swimming in the wintertime, summertime. Nice little, complex. And I bet it's expensive too. I bet it's expensive.
Would imagine.
And
Gentlemen,
but they want people. That's why I was thinking that chemical spill. Could that be a conspiracy theory? Okay, we need to get the people out of the country, so we need to make it uncomfortable to live in homes, in your own home in the countryside, and let's consolidate those people and force them to move to the city.
Well, the bottom line is, if there is no accountability here, there is certainly accountability in the hereafter. So we do have our Lord Jesus Christ to thank, also to be joyful for these times that we do find ourselves in. It's definitely a time where we do need to mark the signs of the time, such as the chemical spill that just took place. You can come back in a couple of days, it's fine. And then when you go to come back, everything is not the same anymore. The fish have died. The ecology has been adversely affected. And so, of course, people will then want to move out of that area. Imagine if cleanup was affected.
Yeah. Did you hear how many fishes were killed?
Yeah.
I mean, and the radius, and somebody said like 10 miles away, the chickens, they were growing chickens and stuff, and they died.
Whenever the water table is affected, everything gets affected. Whenever the food supply is affected, it affects the food chain. Whenever the food chain is affected, then you have ecological disasters. Whenever ecological disasters happen, you have chaos. And chaos can be, at least what they think anyway, with the World Economic Forum and other places, think that chaos can generate.
I didn't put this in the story, but I was listening to a story about China. They destroyed 50% of their water source.
Yeah.
And most of their land is not plantable because they just destroyed it with just whatever they were doing out there. So that's why they have to look at these other places, buying up American land so they can plant food over there to take back to their country.
It is interesting that you bring that up, where China owns a large portion of the land, which happens to be right here in America. When another country buys it either corporately or privately, what happens to that land? I'm just curious. Does that land become sovereign to the people who own that land? Is it, by and large, its own little nation state at that point? Because if anything is owned in China, it's going to have the state all over it. The People's Republic of China is, just some interesting questions to think about. Why is America being sold piece by piece to our Chinese neighbors and our friends?
But I guess this is another story. It's not in our list here, but when I heard it this morning, I said, man, I wish I would have heard that earlier. Okay, I was listening to BBC. And in Nigeria, okay, this is so sad. You see a poor neighborhood and you say, hey, let's put some jobs there. Let's put a factory there and we'll hire the people there. But then you got these banditos who said, okay, now you got people there working. Well, let's just kidnap those people, put up a ransom, get $50,000 to $100,000 and live the easy life. And it was usually happening at night, but now it's happening during the day where they just kidnap people and say, oh, we'll put up a ransom and we need $50,000. And I would guess that these are the well-to-do families that and they're in there trying to help the people. And it's worse here in America because, something happens, people burn up their neighborhoods and stuff like that, and businesses have to leave, and they have a destitute desert land. And then they complain, well, there's no jobs. Well, stop burning stuff when you get mad. And this one.
How money can, for the term, be cycled and recycled. And some would even say, washed. Some would say, what's that L word where laundry?
Yeah.
But, money not being real anyway. It's interesting. We don't even have a real currency anymore. We are slowly being switched over to a digitized banking currency in all countries of the world. Soon we will indeed look at a one world currency. We will look at technology controlling every aspect of what we're doing, and the media having I'm looking at an article that came out yesterday about what Google is doing with regard to searches and how they're not even going to allow for certain things to come up.
They've been doing that for a while.
Yeah, they've been doing this for a while, but they've been ramping it up. One of the first things that they started a pilot project on, which they could have used any sort of project, anything in the world. Anything from inequality from the blind community and the unemployment community or whatever like this to anything they wanted. But they picked the Ukraine conflict before it was even a conflict. So they ran the pilot program before the Ukraine war even started. And now obviously the Ukraine war is in full swing, and we've got all kinds of propaganda flying on both sides. We don't know where to turn to for correct information. In fact, you can see this for yourself here in America, where you're scrolling right along with YouTube, which is, Google owned. And you'll see certain articles which will come up about sensitive content or sensitive information or certain videos and things like this, wherein a video campaign, then if you click on these videos get shown to you. In some countries, these are looked at a lot like inoculations from the misinformation, disinformation, the fake news, as it were, that is being propagated on the internet. And so from time to time, we'll need boosters to these videos that will be shown talking about all this misinformation and disinformation, when in fact, the very people that are trying to, quote, help us are the ones that are purveyors of this misinformation or disinformation by not allowing the free discourse of information. That's why freedom of speech is so very important, because without freedom of speech, we have no freedom of thought.
I just thought about something. Say Nigerian is about to kidnap you. What if you just said, you just pull out your checkbook and say, can I just write you the check and we can circumvent, you call them up my family and all that kind of stuff. I wonder if that would.
I suppose if the check did bounce, I suppose that'd be okay, right?
Yeah. Say, hey, I write your check. Well, hey, what's your name? Okay, I'll put your name. I endorse it. Oh man, could you imagine? How bad would it have to get here in America before we have people kidnapping people? Well, no, we did do that. The Hearst family, was it the Hearst? And she became one of the gangsters or something.
Yeah, we've gone down that road plenty of times with plenty of things which have taken place as early as even 2000 and even before, where have been kidnapped, ransoms have been exacted, and things like this. And I guess this stuff's getting normalized to where we're desensitized to it until it hits us in our backyard, until it hits us right there with our friends, our families, our neighbors. So it is important to get involved at the local, state, and federal levels in any way possible, because it's the only way that we're going to take this country back is at the local level first. We can't allow for certain agendas to take hold, take root, such as defunding of certain programs, certain, what do you call them? Events that have been in place thousands of years. We cannot allow for a moral structure to be degraded simply because something is a fad or something is a in chic type of vogue sort of fashion. I don't know. I mean, we can't allow. Crazy. I mean, individuality is great. I mean, there's nothing better than celebrating our differences, going around, with commonalities and uniting around those. But when we're talking about degradation of actual society, which is what we have, we're in trouble.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk about the Catholic Church.
Well, it's interesting you bring up the Catholic Church. I guess a couple of folks wore some rainbow colored facial attire. Some call them masks. Other people call them diapers, things like this. Anyway, they were trying to follow the procedures laid down over the last couple of years. The face coverings did happen to kind of be rainbow colored, right?
Yeah, right. And I think these days, if I got it right, these are like older ladies, right? Not like these are like spring chickens.
No. And, well respected, have been in the Catholic Church for a while. I didn't get much out of that because it was behind a paywall.
Well, okay, so the coming down the aisle, to get the sacrament, I guess what it is,
right?
And so when they get up, the priest pretty much waves them away,
right?
Say, okay, you continue on. And so these two ladies, they said, hey, what's going? Well, afterwards they said, what's going on? But I'm thinking like, okay, all those years that the Catholic Church turned their heads to all the abuse that they were doing to these young boys, now they decide to grow some gonads and say we're going to put our feet down for this.
It's fascinating because I've been to Catholic things like the luminary. I've been to just regular communion where they celebrate the Eucharist and they do the necessary rituals. I believe they believe they're necessary. But when it comes time for communion, as non-Catholics, we're kind of urged not to partake anyway. And so I suppose the main clergy would have been thinking, well, these guys got some rainbow masks. These guys have some maybe some viewpoints that are somewhat outside the Catholic Church. However, it is interesting because the Catholic Church itself is directly controlled by the Pope, and the Pope has been making some interesting decisions since he got put in office. So, I have no idea. I've got a lot of friends that are Catholics. I've got a lot of friends that just love the Lord Jesus Christ. Doesn't matter what their religion is, whether Seventh-day Adventist to Southern Baptist to Independent Baptist to just your good old Bible believing person to, oh heck, I get up on Sundays and think about going to church, but I never go. I mean, I got lots of friends, man, and a lot of people say, well, got to be a good person. That's really the main thing. Yeah, I think, having a relationship with your Lord Jesus Christ is really the main thing. And
Yes.
be done by salvation. And you find that in 1 Corinthians 15. That whole chapter is really good, and it explains why we believe the way we believe, why we spread that everlasting message of the gospel of love and the gospel of salvation.
Oh yes. Yeah. So and so I don't know. With this one, it's like they got sued quite a bit,
Yeah.
during that time, and now I think I want to go find this guy and and see if he would talk about it. But it'd be interesting to see how this comes out now that it was so much that the Denver Post, but the Denver Post is a left wing hack anyway. So I have a friend that said, he gets his truth from NPR. I said, man, well, that's a pit of hell right there. I mean, and one time I listened to the story, it's like when they're not talking about climate change, because that bores me to death. But I mean, I find some of the stories where, if it's not the propaganda, I can listen to those. But hey, tomorrow we're gonna have a special show.
Yes.
With the artist Gennaro. The name is spelled Gernado. Gernado. Yeah.
Gernado.
And he's going to be releasing the song on the 17th.
Yes.
But we want you to, listen to him. And we're trying to hey, it'd be kind of nice if we can get this guy into the top 200. And it only takes like 700 votes. I mean, 700 people buying $1.29 single song. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, independent recording artists, if you buy their single at $1.29 a pop or whatever their whatever charge is, generally it's about $1.29 a pop. I don't want to say a specific figure because they do tack on other stuff. But anyway, for a given price, you will be able to put their stuff on the top 200 in the independent billboards, independent recording artists. This is not mainstream, but it is regulated even still, it being independent recording. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, I mean, shoot, 700 folks, man. I mean, you could do the back in the day. Shoot, we used to do concerts of 700-800 folks, just put them together, man, buy a couple of kegs and tell people, hey, we're going to be playing this place in Boulder. We're going to play this place in Denver. We're going to, and shoot, we'd get them together. And then we'd actually then do a real concert. We'd set up a real venue where obviously if there was beer sold, it was beer, sold by them, the vendors. Mm-hmm. But yeah, shoot, we would get a following just by playing a couple of parts and then setting up the real venue. Hey, we're playing here in about 6 months. You want to see some of our pre-shows? We're playing here, here, and here. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we'd sell. I don't suppose you could do that anymore. Things are kind of
difficult. Yeah, but tomorrow he's going to be on our show, and I will put a picture of him in the thumbnail because he was just able to call in, and so it is what it is. But so come back tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like these shows because when we monetize them, it helps quite a bit. It looks like we have a good well, it depends on the topic. We had 14 on one, 7 on another. And it seems to be like it just depends on how the algorithms go. And then when I guess YouTube says, hey, you want to see something new? And then they recommend our shows and stuff like that. So,
it is interesting. I think if we just kind of talk about the things that are near and dear to our hearts, sure, the political stuff is near and dear to our hearts, but we want want to unite the world through music and through the promotion of grassroots musicians. That's you, folks. That's you who might be physically disabled or financially challenged or both even. I mean, shoot,
Yeah.
it's hard for all of us. So that's
So-
what's cool about the American spirit. We are made for such a time as this, where we can just literally unite around a common cause. And that's inflation right now, folks.
Yeah.
Let's help each other out.
Yeah. Hey, what are you planning on doing on this snow? Yeah, I know you talking about you're gonna go shovel some snow.
Well, after I do that, I'll probably hit paypal.me/Intervision Denver and make out a little bit of a donation. I think probably what I'll end up doing is working on some sponsors. If you want to become a sponsor, hit us up at info@intervisionfm.com. And that's also a way you can sign up for a newsletter as well.
Oh yeah.
Intervisionrecords.org. That's Intervision, one S and Vision, ISION, records.org, and intervisionfm.com. Bars day, 7 days a week.
And join us on Twitter too, because I see it that our things are showing up on Twitter, so we're getting a nice count. What I spent 2 nights just tweeting like crazy, and those got really showing up. I'm gonna go make some stew. I'm gonna make a beet cabbage stew and have a little bit of rice on the side. So for a cold day like today, that works.
Oh yeah, there's nothing better than a nice stew or soup. Don't know what I'm gonna do myself, but I probably do something similar. I'm gonna start with a big old pot of coffee.
Oh yeah, definitely. So okay, this is the weekend. Have a fantastic weekend. Do something fun. Go play in the snow if you have snow. Do something fun this weekend.
That's right. Get outside. Get outside.
Yeah, God willing, we'll see you like Monday.
Amen.
Yes. Okay.
Hey, don't forget tomorrow though. This is a special show.
Oh
Don't
yeah,
forget, what's his name?
Oh, Gerardo.
Gernado.
Gernado. Yes.
I keep wanting to call him Gerardo because there's a game. Anyway, it's a similar person.
But reggae music
with an N, Jernado. Check him out on YouTube. He's pretty cool.